What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Zcash today. It is the 10th day of December, and here we are sitting at about $432 with 5 hours and 14 minutes left in the day. Hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it. We did the thing, you guys. We did the thing. Yesterday, we did close above the 382, which I was not assuming we would do. I was assuming that we'd pull back and close below the 382. We did pull back and go below it, but we found consistent support. We're still finding consistent support. Now, with that being said, we do have a baseline with descending highs. It's not necessarily the best look, but you absolutely can break out and move higher from here. If we do move higher from here with this close on above the 382, the call should be that we move up to $524 to $560, somewhere up here at the golden ratio zone. Now, that might inevitably what we do. That might inevitably be what we do. We have 5 hours and 13 minutes left in this day. If today can close, if we can get 2 days in a row to close above this 382, you cement it. It's written in stone. It's going to happen. So it was written, so it shall be, that we will go up to $524 to $560. That's inevitable. But today has to close above the 382. Right now, we're taking a more bullish positioning. For the last week, I've assumed that we would pump up and that we'd come back down. In fact, this move we called exactly. I was bearish at the top. I thought that we'd come down and we'd see lower lows. We've been expecting lower lows ever since. And then as of yesterday's close, we are now, I wouldn't say putting that idea on the shelf. It's still on the table. It's still a possible outcome. But we're more focused on the upside now. I want to be very clear in what I'm saying here. There's a few different outcomes that could happen from this point, okay? It's not just up or down. More or less it is, but it's not just up or down. The first outcome is we close above the 382. This is the real deal, and this is a signal that we are going to the golden ratio. We go to the golden ratio. We either pull back to find support and continue to move higher, or from there we find a lower high and we continue to go lower, okay? So it's kind of like two different options inside of option one, but both of them result in going to the golden ratio first, pulling back to some degree, and then from there we figure out, do we continue with our uptrend or do we continue moving down? Is this still a downtrend that we are focusing on here? Option number two is that from here we close below the 382, and this was a fake out, it was a farce, it was a false, and we will just move down from here, okay? If we close below today, in the next 5 hours and 12 minutes, if we close below $424, option two will be what we go with, okay? And then option three is still the idea that we move up here. But maybe instead of it being one fell swoop, perhaps we find, some turbulence at the 0.5, we come back down to the 236, and then we come up, something like that. We've actually seen a lot of cryptos do this 0.5 to 236 maneuver and then come back up. And then again, as it was with option one, there's the possibility that the 236 doesn't hold and we could go lower as well. But the most probable outcome from here, at least at this point in time, would be that we do move up to the golden ratio. We pull back, we find support somewhere around here, and then we make a decision, there or there. Do we continue? Do we go above this high, or are we going below this low? That's the most likely outcome right now. If today, 5 hours, 11 minutes left, if today closes below the 382, the most likely outcome would then be that we do go below this low. Okay? I hope that is clear. Right? There's a couple of different paths that we took down there. There's a couple different paths from those different paths that we could go down as well. 1 hour time frame. The volume's dying off. Yes. You're building higher. It's very possible that we do go lower, but again, as long as the day doesn't close below $424, I think we're okay. If we're looking at the 1 hour with the indicators on, the RSI does have a downtrend, lower lows and lower highs. That makes me think that we have some lower prices to go. The stochastics are bearish, rejecting the 50 here. And the MACD, it's bullish overall, but you are building bearish momentum. I guess at the moment you're not building bearish momentum, but you could still go a little bit lower and be okay. So what I'm seeing from the indicators here is not that we're going to crash, but something a little bit lower, right? Maybe we probably take out these lows here. I'm not so sure how low we go, but certainly I would expect something below 422. Being at $432 right now, with the prospects of going below $422, $10 lower, we have 5 hours left in the day. We're looking at the 1 hour time frame. It does put us in jeopardy. if we close below the 382, come on now, hold on. If we close below that 382, I think this high might be the appropriate high to take, 424. If we close below there, then the most probable outcome would be that we go lower. Some of you might be watching this, and you're like, well, yesterday you said if we close above here, that means we're going to the golden ratio. Yes, I did. And that, I said, as of right now, is the most probable outcome. But if today, if we get the close up above the 382 and then the close below it the next day, that's actually a powerful reversal signal, typically. And it would, when I say reversal, I mean it would take you below this low. I'm sorry, guys, for all the throat clearing. I actually don't know what happened. I actually coughed a lot before I made this video. I got like choked up on like my own, I don't even want to say it, saliva, but I'm still like clearing my throat out from that, I guess. I have asthma, and it's just part of it, okay? So if I have to clear my throat, it's not some tick, it's not some weird thing. I'm not an autist. I have to clear my throat out. That's what it is. Shout out to all the autists watching this, by the way. We're all a little bit on the spectrum, aren't we? $429 right now. If we close below the 382, the probability that we go to the golden ratio diminishes greatly. The probability that we go below this low increases greatly if we close below the 382 today. Okay, that's the main point here. 4-hour time frame. Stochastics coming out of the overbought zone. MACD. Oh, MACD's kind of right at a point where you'd expect it to bounce. It's hard. It's hard to say because you do have lower lows in the 4-hour RSI. Like if I'm looking at the 1 hour, I would say it makes sense that you'd come down by the end of the day. You'd probably close below the 382. But looking at the 4-hour, you have lower lows in the RSI, higher lows in the price. You were overbought, now you're not, but you didn't crash out of this. You got higher lows. You're actually holding support right here at your 382. A good area to find support if you're to climb higher. Your stochastics, while yes, they have crossed out of the oversold zone and that would promote lower prices, sometimes when you're range bound, this is what you do, and this is how it is. So you could be at a point to bounce here. The MACD is also at a point to bounce right here if we're trending higher, and I think that we are. So you're kind of at a make it or break it point. It's not really helpful. I thought that was kind of revealing there, but I guess it's not. We're at the same point that we were at before we looked at the 4-hour time frame. If we close here, great, we're moving higher. It's kind of a critical moment. If you want to push higher, you got to do it now. Where if you come lower in the short term, well, then you're probably going to go lower. You are at a critical moment right now. You've done the thing. Now you have to do something. You've done the thing. The thing is to close above the 382. Now you have to validate it. Let's look at the daily time frame. The daily RSI, this is the one thing, man, I don't like. You got these lower lows. You got the lower highs. You've broken out of this trend. To be fair, that's kind of nice. But you're at the 50, a point that you found resistance at before, support at before, support at before, support at before, resistance at before. You're finding resistance now, maybe. Stochastics could be finding resistance at the 50, and the MACD is actually at a point where it bounced if you were to continue going lower. So the 4-hour gives me optimism. The 1 hour tells me we're moving down. And the daily says if you don't move up right now, if you don't continue, in other words, if you turn around from here, it's inevitable that you go below this low. If we turn around from here, so again, it's a very critical moment. I guess we had that defined from the beginning, right? What we do over the next 5 hours and 6 minutes matters. It'd be really odd if we closed above the 382 2 days in a row and then we still went below, but anything can happen. These indicators on the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame are both at a critical moment. 4-hour is bullishly implied with its criticality. Daily time frame is bearishly implied with its criticality. I don't know if that's the right word or not, but we're just going to make up words if that isn't a word. It's a very bigly thing to do. I think at this point in time, again, we're going to stick with the idea that we move up to the golden ratio. But understand, if in 5 hours and 5 minutes from now we close below $424.50, I am bearish at that moment. I am instantaneously bearish at that moment, right? Just like back here when we were talking about this, I was saying that I'm bullish. I'm even bullish if we go below this price, but if we close the day below it, as soon as we do, we're bearish, right? Same thing here. If we close above the 382, the idea is $523 to $560, and we can reassess from there. But if we close below the 382, I will come on. You can already expect that tomorrow's video for Zcash will be bearish. We are in the midst of a bear flag, and we will progress to prices that are below $200. I would say at this point in time, I'm like 50-50. 50-50 in the sense of is this the low or is it not the low? I might even be like 55.45. I don't think it is the low. I think that we could move up from here and still see a lower low, but there is a chance where this could be the low. You only validate that this is the low if we progress from here. If we regress, if we come back down, well, we are definitely taking out this low. Anyways, I got nothing else. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. I'll see you on the next one, okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.